So today I'm shooting a video on how to do a agent of record form. This could really apply to anything. Right now this is going to be group health. This is a client that I've had for some time, and we looked at the combining the health insurance in the past, and they're ready to move forward with that. So they sent me all their info and invoices. So you always want to think just in general with regards to anytime an agent of record, what do you need? Well, you need the policy info and you need the policy number and the name of the insurance company, right? So that's what they've sent me here. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go into Dropbox, health insurance, group benefits, and then there's a file for agent of record. Okay, if we were doing a commercial, you could go into commercial lines, apps, agent of record. Okay, and you'll see some preset ones already sent. But the format's almost always the same. I just pulled up an example of the one that we'd had in here. I'm just going to open up and change the info out. So this happens to be Blue Cross Blue Shield. So I'm just going to put Blue Cross Blue Shield insurance, retention broker commissions, and then we'll put the group. And so the group here is going to be Tucker, Luden, PA, even though they just technically changed their name for what it's worth. And then if you look here, you can see when you scroll up, kind of gives you the summary, right? So the effective date was 8/1. You'll see the different plans they're going to offer. And then normally when you scroll a little bit further down, you'll normally see a quote or policy number. And so in this case here, it looks like this was the original quote. It's a good example too. So what we'll do now is I'm going to look through. I think they sent me an invoice, right? So you see this actual invoice. So the invoice typically is going to show you the actual policy number, right? So if you look here, you see Tucker Luden PA, the billing period, the amount they were charged, the group number, and the organizational ID. Okay. And so you can see, and then this is the invoice details showing what these guys have. So that's a little bit of life insurance, a little bit of regular health insurance, etc. Okay. So here we're going to go, and I'll put the group number is 65757. Back to my sheet here. Okay. Obviously make that a little bigger, make it stand out more. And then we'll go, I always like to put the tax ID as well. So that's a good way that we're ever having an issue and perhaps the insurance company can't find them, they can almost always look up by that. It's a good example here. So I'm going to click search for corporation on Sunbiz. So if you go to sunbiz.org, I have this saved as kind of my favorite bar because I use it so much. So I'm just going to type in Tucker Law because I know that's the name of the practice. And again, this was a partner buyout, so technically it has just changed. When you go on here, you can always match it up by typically who the client is. You'll see is the owner or officer or registered agent, and then the address. And then right here, this FEI/EIN, that's Federal Employer ID or Employer Identification Number. Again, that's like the equivalent of a tax, like your Social Security number for a business, right? So we'll put that in there. And again, we'll make that a little bit bigger. Okay, now we actually do our benefits through Gary Johnson. And he's with Benefit Resource Group, and they're kind of our back office for that. And so we'll go in here, and then I just update, and you're going to put the name of the owner. So we'll put John Tucker, and I'll put Officer Tucker, PA, Managing Officer. Okay. Last thing I would recommend too, you see here, this was an old one, how I had there just kind of a picture of the business up there. You know, typically these companies are going to want to say, hey, we want it on letterhead. Well, people don't really do letterhead as much anymore just because, you know, so much happens online. So what I'm going to look up here is just his website. So we'll go with Tucker Law Group PA. Now again, he may not have updated his website yet, so I'll see if the Tucker Luden shows up. And I don't want to take a ton of time more on the video. Bottom line, what you would be doing is you would be finding the actual client's website. You can see, here you go. So here I found right here. Here was Tucker Luden. Okay, so I can kind of take this. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'll do a little snippet. So you've got this little snipping tool that comes with Microsoft. And then you can just highlight that. Okay, and then I'll go and we'll go copy. I won't even really save it. I really don't need it much more for this form. And then I'll replace that here. So now it looks a little more official. Okay. And I'm also going to, last thing I'm just going to put here for our group, health, life, and accident policies with Blue Cross. And then I'm done. Now I'll go and I'll upload it in to send it to him e-signature. I'll clean it up a little bit just so it's all on one page. And that's how you would do an agent of record form. Any questions, let me know. Keep dreaming big and make it happen.